Hello everyone, it's Moonkin FTW here, back with another video, and welcome to episode 65 of the RC Coaster Challenge. In this episode we're tackling the water coaster, which is a coaster that is, part, I guess, normal coaster ride and part water ride, which is really cool because, you go up this lift hill, you go down, you have some elements like turns and helixes and a bit of airtime, and then you drop down into this bed of water, and that's basically kind of the feature of the water coaster. Now, because the water section kind of kills any momentum, I decided to go for 2 lift hills, which is exactly what I've done here. In terms of track design, there's not much you can do. There's no crazy inversions or anything like that. So I think it pretty much shares the same track design, apart from course the water sections, as the junior coaster. So there's not much you can do. Now, because this is a water coaster, it lends itself really well to the kind of tropical Caribbean theming, which I know I used last episode as well. But it just, like I said, it lends itself really well, so I'm just going to use it for this one. Now, in terms of the supports, unfortunately, because this track is very thin, just like the junior coaster, it's very finicky to place proper supports. So I'm going to have to custom fabricate a lot of stuff here. So I'm placing these all down individually, hoping that I'll be able to add some pre-made side support to this, and you'll see that as we go along. For now, I'm just trying to make sure that all the vertical ones fit, and here you can see me adding side supports wherever it's possible. So I have ones for each kind of level, if you will, with the beams, if you will, and I'm just trying to build them wherever they can. And of course I still have to repaint them, but of course this is way faster than if you would build them piece by piece. So I'm just going to go ahead and recolor all of the pre-made supports that I've built to make sure that they're all the same color. And I think this kind of cyan track and like light brown supports, I think that looks really nice. And you'll see that kind of nicely blend in when we build this tropical theming around it. But of course, first we got to focus around the supports to make sure that just the roller coaster itself is done. And then we can start focusing around the theming. So of course we're going to plant some footers here and there to make sure everything is supported properly. And then we're going to go over the track and just make sure if we have every single piece is built properly, and if there's no missing pieces or anything. And I'm going to give the boats some nice colors, of course. Here's our queue line, and that's pretty much the layout of the roller coaster. So now we can get started on the theming. And just like the Virginia reel, I'm going to encircle the ride in this kind of Caribbean fortress, this kind of fortress wall, and inside is where the theme will be. So you're kind of like surrounded by this wall, and you're kind of immersed into this tropical Caribbean theme if you were riding this, basically. So of course I'm going to finish the castle wall, and luckily I also have some pre-made designs here, so I can just plop that pre-made design over and over again, because again, if I would build this piece by piece, we would be here for a much longer time. And it's nice to be able to save some time here and there. So how are we going to tackle the theming? Well, we're going to build some bamboo buildings, of course. We're going to plant some palm trees and all that goodness. So I'm just going to build some buildings wherever there's space. So for instance, here I have a decent amount of space. I can build a building here. Here I have some space for a building, so we're going to build a building here. So that's how I'm basically going to fill up the dead spots of this ride, basically. So just that's how it's going to be. And of course, the jungle or tropical theming also knows some objects you can place that are already pre-made, so to say. You'll see that in just a bit what I mean. So here's another place for another building. So we're just going over most of the areas, and I'll leave a little bit of space over for something else. But there you go. And I think I've one final one here in between the helix. I think that's always a really cool idea. And of course, last but not least, we can't forget the station, which of course needs some theming as well. And of course, we're going to use some bamboo buildings for this as well. So we're just going to use a pretty basic layout, a pretty basic design, but it works quite nicely. So there you go. Now, when it comes to the theming, of course, we also need some catwalk. Unfortunately, I can't use that for the first lift hill because that's a gentle corner and I don't have any pieces for that. But what I do have is Pateri's tunnel add-on, which allows me to make this nice tunnel. So when you're getting into the train or the boat, and you're going up this lift hill, you can't quite see what's coming up yet, and then when you're out of the tunnel, boom, you drop down. And I think that's pretty cool, if I say so myself. So last but not least, we're going to add some trees here to make sure that there's also some trees, of course, some nice objects here that kind of fill up everything. And that's pretty much it for the water coaster. It's not a super complicated build because again, it's kind of how to say, based on junior coasters. You can't go super high, you don't have crazy elements. But I think the theming is quite nicely, if I say so myself. And I think it's pretty cool if you would ride this in real life, you know, that splash effect of the water and everything, and the tropical theming. I think it's quite nice. So yeah, let's go ahead and ride this. Let's see what it's like to ride this water coaster. So here we go, up the lift hill. Slowly but surely making our way out of the tunnel. As we go into our first drop, look at that. Some nice palm trees, some bamboo buildings. Here we go into this nice little helix here. Surrounded by that building, or yeah, surrounded by the building basically. There we go, some corners. Again, this is not going to be too wild of a ride. And then we plop down, boom, into the water section. And okay, it's still splashing. I don't know why, you can't see anything, but alright, that's a bit odd, but there you go. Okay, into the second lift hill. Here we could incorporate the catwalk. And we're about to drop down again for the second time. We got the queue right next to us. Into a bit of a, yeah, I don't know what to call it, a turnaround. Some final corners. This could be a little bit faster. It's still okay. Alright, a little bit of airtime hill. A little bit of a pop here. Yeah, that could be a little bit better, but still, I think it's pretty good. It's good enough. There we go. And into the final water section, and then into the station. Nice. Alright guys, and there you go. That is the water coaster done. That is episode, I believe, 65 out of the way. We have 5 more left, so we're almost there. I can't believe it. So yeah, there you go guys. That is episode 65 done, in the bag. I hope you guys like this design. I liked it. I hope you guys like it too. I'll be back pretty soon with another video, but until then, have yourself a wonderful day.